Hearing that the armor was comfortable, James smiled. In the past, sleeping in armor wasn't comfortable due to the low quality. But with what the guild had gifted them, it may lead to them being able to rest comfortably. I guess we're not going to be constantly sleep deprived, James said. Kate laughed. It wasn't that bad, but it definitely will be nice being able to sleep comfortably, though not as enjoyable as a bed. She added the last thought with a sigh, likely imagining a comfortable bed at the guild. Behind them, under their respective tarps, the group was still sleeping soundly. Their snores were an indication of how they were enjoying the night before they need to wake up or when the sun rose. After breaking up the branch, James made his way back to his tarp. Grabbing his pack, he pulled out a bowl and a spoon. James then secured the pack and pushed it back under the tarp. James noticed that Maya was already next to the wolf with a knife in hand after returning to the fire. Decided to get some food? She grinned, holding a hand out for James's bowl. Passing his bowl to her, James said, "Since everyone else is eating, I might as well get some food too." Though he wanted to wait until the stock was ready, he could tell that his body was becoming more impatient. It could smell the food and demanded that he grab some. Holding James's bowl, Maya positioned it below her knife. She carved out several large chunks. The meat fell into the bowl, with the juices being caught inside. Handing back the bowl, she said, "We also have some steaks ready. They weren't on there for long, so it should be perfect. Make sure to grab one after you pour some of the stock into the bowl." Maya pointed at the rows of steaks being cooked on a collapsible grill. James couldn't help but feel the saliva forming in his mouth in anticipation when he saw the steaks. He could see that they were covered in spices and herbs, a nice crust forming on several. Maya smiled at James, knowing that he wanted to try one of the steaks. James turned towards the pot of stock, not only due to his intention of pouring some into his bowl, but to no longer see Maya's mischievous eyes seeing through his thoughts. At least I'll be able to feel a little satisfied with some food in my stomach. Then I can get some sleep before my turn at watch or before the sun rises. James felt the idea of sleep tugging at him, though his belly helped convince him otherwise. Picking up the spoon resting on top of the pot, James casually skimmed off some of the scum floating on top. Tapping the spoon on the side, the spoon was then dipped into the simmering liquid full of flavor and nutrients. Making sure not to get anything other than the stock, he poured the flavorful substance into his bowl. He filled the bowl until it was still comfortable to hold, though his gloves would protect him from the heat. Wanting to try the items in his bowl, James grabbed a piece of the meat. He raised the bowl to make sure that it wouldn't drip all over the place. Taking a bite of the meat filled him with the flavor and a feeling of satisfaction. James smiled. I guess that Maya was right about the taste. I can see why Adam was holding the bowl while doing his nightly duty. The stock did a great job at keeping the meat juicy. In addition, the wolf meat was tender. Cooking over the flames had made it to the degree where it would likely begin falling off the bones. Raising the bowl to his lips, James took a sip from the stock. He enjoyed the bits of wolf meat that came off the legs. The stock hadn't cooked long enough where all the flavor was removed, so it complemented the roasted meat well.